Hello everybody. This is Professor West and welcome back. Today we will be using the MIT App Inventor to create a simple ball bouncing program where the ball is going to bounce around the screen. This little program is the basis for a lot of other programs that people have out, a lot of other apps, such as golf, miniature golf, pool tables, anything where there's a ball moving around the screen. It's going to be based on what we're going to cover here today. May not be exact, but it'll be based on it. So, to start, go up to Projects, which I know you can't see it because it's slightly off the screen, and click on Start New Project. And I'm just going to call this one Ball Bounce 9. I don't know. I've got a whole bunch of them, so can't name things the same name. So, all right. Here we go. This is our screen, of course, and everything that we do is going to be on the screen. We're going to start by adding a canvas. Now, let me say this. Any images like the ball and sprites and so forth are going to need to be on a canvas. A canvas is something that just it allows them to play properly. So you can't have the sprites if it's not on a canvas. So you need to grab the canvas and just drag it over here right onto the screen and drop it. And the next thing you need to do is come over here into the properties. Now notice my canvas is on the screen, and if you look over here in components, it says screen and then canvas. And how it's indented here means that it's part of the screen. So make sure the canvas is selected and come over here to the height and click on it and just choose fill parent and click OK. The parent is whatever's a level above it. So the canvas is on the screen, so the screen is the parent. And in this case, we told it the height will now fit the parent, or fill the parent, so it takes up the entire height. So now when we do width and choose fill parent, now it'll also be as wide as the screen. This will be very important later, but for now, we'll just move on. Okay, the next thing we need to do is to add a ball onto the screen. So we're just going to click on ball and drag it over here. It's right there under drawing and animation, just like canvas was. Just click on it and drag it right over. And this is a pretty small ball, and depending on how you're wanting your game to look, that may be okay. But I want mine to be a little bigger. So I'm going to come over here to the radius, and I'm just going to change it from 5 to 10. The radius, just like it was in high school, is half of the distance from the edge to the center. Well, it is the distance of the edge to the center. It's half the distance across. So 10 means 10 pixels from here to here. And if you wanted it to be a little bigger, you could say 15 or 30 or 50 or whatever. I like mine at about 10 on this example, so that's where I'm going to leave it. So right now we have a screen, we have the canvas on the screen, and we have the ball on the canvas. So the canvas is the parent of the ball, and the screen is the parent of the canvas. It doesn't do anything right now. We don't have it set up to actually do anything. So let's go in and add some code to make it do something real quick. To do so, we need to come over to blocks. Right now we're in the designer, because this is where we design the screen. If we click on blocks, we go into the code portion where we actually can have functionality added to it. So the first thing we need to do is click on ball. All of these have a number of controls and stuff. Here's all the math ones. Here's a bunch of variables and procedures. But if you want something specifically related to the objects on your screen, you can click on that object, in this case the ball, and we can choose any of these objects that we want. In this case, I'm going to choose the flung. When ball.1 flung. As programmers, we typically have a horrific time naming things. I don't know why, but we just do. So, flung is when you use your finger and you put it on the ball and you flick it. And that's all we're talking about. So when ball.1 gets flung, we're going to tell it what's going to happen now. So we're going to go back to the ball, and we're going to look down in the green section. These are the getters and the setters. Set tells it to be something, and get asks it what it is. So any that say set are the setters, and any that don't say set in the green section are the getters. We want set ball.1 heading. So we're going to grab the heading, and we're just going to bring it over here. Now the heading means that if the ball is traveling like this, that's its heading, its direction basically. We're going to stick that right in there. Then we're going to come back over to the ball, and we're going to get a second thing. We want the ball speed. So let's scroll down until we find set ball.1 speed. We're going to drag that over here. We're going to stick it right under the heading. Now here's a really neat trick that they added for MIT App Inventor. These items across here allow you to get extra information without having to go in and try to find it and make it. So in this case, if I point to heading, let me get off of there. If I point to heading, I can tell it to get the heading or to set the heading right here. So I'm just going to grab that and stick it on. So now it's going to ask the ball, it's going to ask what the heading is that the ball was flung, and that's going to be the ball's heading. We need to do the same thing with speed. Point to speed and choose the get speed, and that's going to be the speed. Okay, I'm going to pull in my emulator now, which if you don't have the emulator already, MIT App Inventor website has instructions on how to get it. It's basically a fake phone, and your app that you're building can show up here, and you can test it as you're doing stuff. So here's my little ball. I'm just going to fling it that direction. It's not going very fast. We'll have to add more functionality to make it a little better. But the point is that when it gets to the edge, it doesn't know what to do. So it just stops, because we haven't yet told it what to do. So now we're going to do that. We're going to go back to the ball. We're going to scroll back up by the top, and we're going to find the one that says when ball 1 edge reached. Now the edge, there are 4 edges on this screen. There's one on the side, one across the top, one down the side, and one across the bottom. So for now, anytime it gets to any edge, we're going to have it do something. So let's go back to the ball, and let's go in the purple area, and it's going to say call ball.1 bounce edge. So all this is telling it to do is when it gets to the edge, bounce. Now, you get this little warning error that comes up that says that you don't have the right number of arguments, which means we need to add one more thing. Just like we did, apologize for that, just like we did with the heading for the ball flung, we're going to do the edge and put it on this one. But for some reason, it likes to give you this error message, and you only have 5 seconds before it gives it to you again. So we have to get the edge, drag it over here, and plug it in. Otherwise, you're going to have the same one go again. And my little ball has already hit the edge and started coming back now. I don't know why it's going so slow, but I'm definitely going to have to fix that. But see, now it hit that edge and it bounced over, and then it hits that edge and it starts coming back down. So I'm going to make one more adjustment, because watching this little ball move so slow is really annoying me. So I'm going to show you one more thing you can do. Right here where we had, right here where we had the get speed, I'm going to come into the math, and I'm going to grab this little one that has a plus, and I'm just going to add it right into there. And then I'm going to add the get speed into it. So I'm going to tell it the ball 1 speed is get the speed plus something. And I'm just going to grab this little first one from math. I'm going to add that, and then I can tell it whatever I want to add to it. So however hard I fling it now, it's going to be that speed plus 10. And look at this little guy move. If I wanted to, I could say, let's do 50. And now it's moving a lot quicker. So, anyway, it's fun to play around with, and I hope you enjoyed this session. This has been the ball bounce section. Bye.